State officials changed the requirements for the Bibles they want in every Oklahoma classroom. Thanks so much for joining us at 5. I'm Shay Rozzi.
And I'm Sarah Whaley. We told you last week the State Department of Education opened the bidding for the Bibles, but the requirements were a bit controversial because they included American historical documents like the Declaration of Independence.
We looked, and the only Bible that we found matched that original description is the one endorsed by former President Donald Trump.
Fox 23's Devin Lyon has been following this story. He joins us live in studio now. And Devin, some of those requirements have now been removed.
Now, the State Department of Education and the Department of Management and Enterprise, who oversees these contracts, agreed to the changes after a big public pushback. Now, they will look for vendors who can supply King James Bibles and separately provide documents like the Declaration of Independence. But one state lawmaker told me there's still issues with how those Bibles are bought.
Well, I still have concerns of why do we need to purchase Bibles with taxpayer funds.
State Representative Mark McBride, a Republican from Moore, is the head of the House Appropriations Budget on Education. He arguably holds the most power on where money goes for Oklahoma schools.
I don't have a problem with them being in school. I think we could get, like I said before, they could be donated. Multiple different groups would donate those. And plus, there's a free, I've got a Bible app.
When the bidding started for buying 55,000 Bibles for Oklahoma schools, he was not a fan.
I still have concerns. I am glad the RFP was changed, and I think the issue is I don't think you can shuffle money around like that.
The RFP is a request for proposals that opens the bidding process. Originally, the Board of Education wanted to buy Bibles that had historical documents attached, like the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. There was also a stipulation that the Bibles have a leather or leather-like cover. I looked, and the only Bible that matched was the God Bless the USA Bible, endorsed by former President Trump.
And I think you all should get a copy of God Bless the USA Bible now and help spread our Christian values with others.
There were also many religious leaders who had issues with attaching any documents to a Bible, some flat out calling it blasphemous.
I think they're getting a lot of pushback from pastors and religious organizations.
Now, the board and OMES agreed to change the listing to include vendors who could offer all these documents separately. However, McBride says the $3 million in taxpayer dollars the department wants to use can only be approved by the legislator and for payroll purposes only. He says it's illegal to use it for anything other than what it was budgeted for.
In Section 2 of the Limits Bill, that you can't move money around. It's got to be used for what it's designated for. But my concern is the $3 million from last legislative session. You can't move that money around. It's all about the rule of law. We're skirting the rule of law here.
Last week, we reached out to Ryan Walters several times to talk about this topic. We called, emailed, and texted. Earlier today, he sent a statement which said every state news outlet misreported the facts surrounding his previous requirement for Bibles. It went on to say, quote, "My number one goal is to ensure that our classrooms have copies of the Bible so that it can be utilized as an appropriate tool to properly and accurately teach Oklahoma students of its important influence in the history of our country and its secular value, period," end quote. I was finally able to talk with Walters face-to-face just a few minutes ago. I'm putting that interview together for you on Fox 23 News at 6, so you can hear from him for yourself. Live in studio, covering news that matters, Devin Lyon, Fox 23 News.
The Board of Education and Department of Management and Enterprise say a group will be appointed to decide on the final vendor. They say the state superintendent cannot legally be selected to be on it.